In blackjack, your hand competes with the dealer's hand, not with the other players at the table. The objective is to end up with a hand total closer to 21 than the dealer, without going over 21. Going over 21 is referred to as busting and results in an instant loss for the player. After all bets have been placed, the game begins with each player being dealt 2 cards face up. The dealer also gets 2 cards, but one of them is dealt face down so that players cannot see its value. After everyone has received their 2 cards, the action starts with the player at the leftmost spot. That is, unless the dealer is showing an ace, in which case players are first offered insurance. Insurance bets are not mandatory and cost half the amount of your original bet to play. After players have taken or passed on insurance bets, the dealer checks their hidden card. If the hidden card is valued 10, they have a blackjack. The card is flipped and insurance bets are paid at 2 to 1. Players who do not have a blackjack as well for a push lose the hand in their initial bet. The hand is complete and the players bet on for the next hand. If the dealer shows an ace and does not have a 10, the dealer does not have a blackjack. Insurance bets do not pay off, and the round proceeds as normal. The dealer's card is not shown yet. Play begins with the player seated at the leftmost spot on the table. If a player is dealt a 21 with their first 2 cards, they have a blackjack. If a player has anything other than blackjack, it is their turn to act. A player may hit to receive another card, or stand to stay with their current hand total. The player may take as many cards as desired until they reach a total they're happy with, or bust trying. Cards are totaled as follows: 2 to 9 at value, face cards at 10, and aces can be played as 1 or 11. If the player is dealt a matching pair of cards, like 2 8s for example, they may also split. This is done by placing another wager of the same size as your initial bet beside your first bet. The dealer will then split your hand into 2 separate hands for you, each started with 1 card from the pair. Each hand will receive another card, then proceed as normal. The exception is when aces are split, in which case most tables will only allow 1 card be dealt to each of the split hands. When a player has only their initial 2 cards in a hand, they may be allowed to double down as well. When a player doubles down, they double their original bet and receive 1 and only 1 more card. Some table rules will allow the player to double down on any first 2 cards, though most will only allow doubling when the player has certain hand totals, usually 9 through 11. After all the players have finished playing their hands, the dealer plays their hand out last. The dealer must always follow the same fixed rules for how to play their hand. Normal table rules dictate that the dealer must draw cards until their hand has a value of 17 or higher, after which they cannot take any more cards to improve their hand total, regardless of what players have. Just like the players, the dealer can also bust by drawing a hand that totals more than 21, in which case all players who still remain in the hand win their bets. If the dealer does not bust, remaining players who have a hand total closer to 21 than the dealer win. Players with a total lower than the dealer lose their bet, and those who have the same total tie, which is referred to as a push in blackjack. When a player pushes, their bet is returned, breaking even on their bet for the hand.